Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in honor of a new fusion tomorrow in Lonatharil kicking off in game, I thought it would be fun to take another look at the different fusions in the game and get them ranked on here, and according to my opinion. That way you can get a little bit more context if it is something that you want to skip or throw a bunch of resources at and all that. So we're just going to go through and place them on the board, and then you can let me know where you agree or disagree, and we'll revisit this every month or two and keep it as up to date as possible. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so we'll just start out, up here at the top and work our way down to the fusion that we'll be launching, and we'll go from there. So we've got Astralon. I mean, Astralon's a decent. I'll have to get these on the board, and then we can make adjustments at the end. I'm not gonna do the epics. We're gonna skip them. Bivald, kind of C tier. Underpriest, obviously S. Killian again, kind of down here. Elgato, seemed like a pretty good kit, but ended up not getting used as much as we kind of thought. Same with Drakgul, and then Gaius up here. Gerptup ended up being a little bit better than we thought. Herndig S. Come on, give me somebody in the A. Gosh, Helicat's probably S. Pretty solid for sure. Iron Brago might be A. Really, really good for progression, and also has some kind of cool compositions. Contra's a good one for A, probably. Karato, I mean, he's all right, and we'll refine this as we go here at the end. Krila is definitely pretty solid. We'd go there. Mother Sibylle is decent. Nari, I don't know about that. Probably somewhere around there. Opardin, kind of same thing. We're gonna end up a lot in kind of the B and C tiers. Pixniel, maybe one for the F tier. Rosin is the permanent one, and he's really solid. So we'd go like up here. What is this? Rorik. That tells you all you need to know. I had to pause for a little bit thinking about the picture. He's all right, kind of like Bivald and Killian and stuff. Rodos obviously goes up in the S. Rule, they did buff Hex recently, so I'll go B instead of C. Shamrock really isn't that bad. He's kind of underrated, and kind of similar to Elgato maybe. Cernic, probably the A. Tatura is like, gosh, S or A, pretty solid. We'll start there for now. Tormund was a really good fusion when he was done. Skullord, Vargal, I mean, really good base stats and stuff, but probably somewhere over here. What is this? Sigmund, down here. Okay, Makar never really got much play. Versolf really wasn't that bad. We'll go up there. Walking Tomb Drang. Yoshi. And then we're getting close to the end. I'm always like an A. Vlad, kind of similar to Astralon probably. Go like right there, and then we get to the fusion that is going live right now in Lonatharil. And for our just real quick refresher course, because he is so new, we've got the A1, the decreased max HP, obviously with the Scarab in mind, kind of as the main selling point there, and then Shield and Ally. Maybe just make that the whole team. The A2 is an AoE that hits okay, but not super hard from our testing on the test server. Shield on all allies equal to this champion's max HP. If dead allies, I don't know if it's okay. Maybe revive if there's any dead allies. I don't know. And then crit damage, but teams up with everybody. That's a pretty cool ability right there. The passive is a little bit underwhelming. Maybe like the entire team, make it like a Duchess type passive where it affects the entire team. Like if the whole team inflicted 20% more damage against targets under shield, might be kind of cool. And the HP aura is what it is. So yeah, all in all, I'd probably, and I ended up skipping a few. Foley, he's an A, he's pretty solid. And then Harvest Jack, somewhere around here, maybe. He does have the fear and stuff, and he was pretty decent when he came out. But, okay, so where does Lonatharil end up? I think Lonatharil is going to be kind of similar to maybe like a rule, you know, like, I mean, could be decent in the right circumstance, you know, like for the shield, and the enemy max HP of the Scarab, and teaming up with allies to do some damage. Do I see him as like, you know, an account changer, like one of these top 10 fusions, you know, under Priest, and probably not. I think Versolf was even a little bit better, maybe Walking Tomb, Yoshi. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably start somewhere. I mean, I need to do like, is he better or worse than like this tier of champions, like Gerbtuck and Karato? Oh, and by the way, I also forgot Baracus. Baracus, a damage dealer down here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's all right, but poor Pixneo ends up the only one in the F tier. And by the way, let me now that we've got everything placed on here, let me zoom in a little bit. It's okay, there we go. I tried to zoom in a little bit and make myself a little bit smaller so you could see more of the board here. But yeah, like Karato did the AoE block buffs, I believe. I'd probably put him ahead of Lonatharil. Yeah, so what do I shift around here to kind of fine tune? You know, Under Priest and Rotos are probably like the most impactful ones. And you've got like that next tier of, you know, I mean, I kind of like this here. Something like that. Do I want to, is there anybody else that I would put in the S tier? That should belong. We used to put Sir Nick up there. He's been power crept a little bit. I don't know if I'm missing any. You obviously, some of you are going to disagree, and I'm happy to listen to all opinions and hear where I'm wrong, and keep that in mind for next time. But I don't know if I like to be picky with who I put in the S tier. I don't know if I would put anyone else. Is there anybody? Astralon could almost be A, and same with Gaius. They get some decent usage. Molly, like, they're probably just as good as Sir Nick, honestly, and like Foley. Foley does block revive though. Yoshi sees a lot of play. Rosin's amazing for faction wars. Are these maybe a little bit overrated? Towards the top of the A tier, Yoshi does see a lot of play. We might put him up there. Drang was okay. Okay, obviously it's not gonna be perfect. We're just trying to get like the tiers right is kind of the main goal here. Mother Sibley actually ended up being okay and has a decent kit. I see here in like tag team arena defenses and stuff. So maybe we'll put her like that. Shamrock really isn't that bad. He really gets a bad rap, but he's really a lot more useful than people think. The C tier, I think, ended up coming out pretty well. You like all of these champions are just kind of like meh. They could be all right in the right circumstance, but they're really nothing to write home about, I don't think. Shield probably goes up over here. Yeah, mostly. I mean, these are all kind of interchangeable. And then Pixneo, the reason Pixneo ends up in the F tier is the 18 books was just brutal. Pixneo even got a buff, but yeah, she was probably the most disappointing few. I mean, Vergamakar is probably down a little bit too. He really never saw much play. But yeah, Pixneo is kind of in a tier all on her own in the eyes of many of the community. So yeah, like wrapping this up, should you skip the fusion here for Lonatharil? I could even probably put him ahead of Harvest Jack. Should you skip the fusion for Lonatharil? I don't like recommending that people skip fusions. Maybe we can talk about this in tomorrow morning's fusion launch video, like our morning kickoff wrap-up video. But I don't like to recommend that people skip a fusion because you never know if they're going to get buffed or if they're going to end up being changed in some way that ends up super relevant for future content. Like when I pulled Draco, I was super underwhelmed by pulling him, and then they hyper buffed him, and he became one of the best champions in the game for a while. So, you know, I don't like to... We haven't really seen a fusion get buffed into the stratosphere, though. Like we've never seen, you know, some old fusion all of a sudden become god tier. So I don't think you have to be like hyper worried about missing the fusion. But if you've got the resources to realistically fuse it, I would still probably recommend going for it just to make sure you've got that capability on your account. And it's kind of the point of why we play Raid, is to get guaranteed progression and make our account more and more robust. But I definitely wouldn't like whale out. I wouldn't like get into some crazy spending money type scenario, spending money you can't afford to go after this fusion or something. I definitely wouldn't do that. But I do think you should kind of loosely go for it if it's realistic for your account. So we'll have to see how it's structured. If it's structured to be as difficult as Brogni, then yeah, I would probably say don't feel bad about missing out, because he is going to be a hybrid fusion similar to Brogni, but Brogni kind of had a lot more weight and a lot better kit to change things and really be super useful in a more wide regard. So definitely not going to be worth the investment that Brogni was. So you'll have to kind of make those decisions based on you and what resources you've got. But I mean, he could be all right in the right scenario for like a early to mid game progression type thing, but definitely a little bit underwhelming, and was hoping he'd be a little bit better, especially if he's going to be a hybrid fusion. But definitely let me know where you agree and disagree. We might pull it up tomorrow for the fusion launch video and talk about where you agree or disagree with me as a community, and I might adjust things. I'm willing to being I'm open to being wrong and changing things in the future if a lot of you are expressing an opinion different than mine. So yeah, that'll do it for this one. Good luck on the fusion tomorrow, and I will be here in the morning to get you all caught up on what to focus on as we get that launched. So as always, subscribe on the way out, because we've got lots of Raid Shadow Legends content coming your way every single day, and I will see you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.